If you want something that is just going to shock you right the fuck back to reality, 90 days is 1% of 25 years. Firstly, how cool? Secondly, how scary? Because you think about it, it's like we are looking back on our entrepreneurial years. Like our entrepreneurial years, our business years are happening right now. And it's like for most of us in 25 years, we probably won't have this business. We will be retired. We will be living in Italy. We'll have a yacht. We'll have like 5 husbands. We're doing whatever we want with incredible wardrobe and amazing shoes, but we are not going to have this business. We're going to be retired. And I want you to think about the fact that what a significance of 1% is. Like if you were to think about, 1% of your whole business, how you wouldn't want to waste that. It's still a really big piece of the pie. And when you think about your business like that, it's probably going to get you to reflect differently on the action that you have taken and the action that you will take. I feel like this is going to be a timeless episode, but right now I don't even know what date it is. We are March 30th. So we are just about done the first quarter of this year. And for Australians, we've got another 3 months and then it's the end of the financial year. So we really are in this really beautiful spot where we've just finished 3 months and we're looking the next 3 months ahead. And what we can do here is we can look back on what we have done to refine who we will be as we move forward. I look at the first 3 months of this year and it's so interesting, but I'm really happy with what I've done. And now I'm like, what would it look like to double those results, to really double down? It's like, you did all of this, great. Let's make it better. Because I know for me, I don't ever want to look back on the business that I have and know that I could have gone harder, or I could have believed more, or I could have gotten a different result. When I did the first ever professional babe, it's really interesting that the first year or so, I really was finding my feet and I'm like, let me figure it out. And I was acting like I had all the time in the world, which, I don't want anyone to kind of do their business or approach things like time is running out, but we really don't know how long that we have here. I want to make sure that when I leave this earth, that I have used up every little scrap of potential that I have, and that I have grown as much that I can have, and that the impact that I've created will live well beyond my years alive on this earth. That's what I want to do. And it's like, when I think about that, it really affects how I want to show up. And it shocks me out of any bad, sad, or whatever mood that I'm in, because I start to look at time so much more significantly than I did before, because I want to make sure that these little 1% chunks that make up this business are something significant, and that I can look back on every 90-day period and realize that I achieved something great, or I can look back and I was like, that was the time that we did this. That was the time that we did that. And not looking at, say, 4%, which is a whole year, and realizing that I didn't really do a lot with it. I do think that sometimes we have times in our life where circumstances just happen. You get sick, or those around us get sick, or stuff in your personal life happens, and it's not always going to be ideal. But I still think that we can do what we can with the time that we have. And sometimes it's not going to be great, but that's okay. We just want to make sure that doesn't become every quarter that we have in our business, because then we're going to look back and that is going to be our business. We want that to just be a little footnote, not a whole fucking chapter. So I was thinking, I was like, do I have a story? So, okay, back in 2015, I got really sick with glandular fever. I ended up in a whole heap of debt and business debt because my business didn't really have a contingency plan if I wasn't able to work. I ended up putting on weight. I lost weight and then I put weight on, and my whole life just felt like a real shit show. It was in shambles. And I remember looking at my life and just fucking hating it. And being like, I am not happy with the life that I have. I am, of course, grateful to be alive. Stuff is not too bad. Yes, I'm in Maitland, but it's not all that bad. But I just didn't really like my life. I felt like that the potential in the life that I could have was not matching up with my current reality. And I worked out that I had to just get really clear on the change that I wanted to make, and I had to go about being ruthless in the pursuit of that. And there were 2 things that I wanted to do. I wanted to lose the weight that I put on being sick, because it's like none of my clothes fit me. Every time I looked in the mirror, it was a reminder of a not so great period of my life that I was ready to let go of, getting sick, a bad relationship, my business basically just not going so well because I hadn't had this plan in place and all of the debt that was associated with that. So I made a plan that I was going to lose, I don't know if it was like 15 kilos. And I think the debt that I had to get out of, I actually think it was $22,139. I actually think it was that. And, you know, think about it, back then, I was teaching Pilates classes and selling my DVD. So I was not selling anything that was that expensive. Like, people were coming doing their $20 Pilates class. I had to move a whole fucking lot of classes and stock for that. And, you know, managing to lose weight when I already had a physical business anyway, and knowing that I couldn't stress myself out because I was still in recovery from glandular fever. The first part, though, was one, deciding and getting really clear on what I wanted to do. The second part was believing that I could make this happen. And then the third part was being really fucking ruthless in the pursuit of both of those things. And that if anything in my life was going to work against that, that I had to just for the period of time that it took to happen, I had to just, you know, shut it out. I was not going to do that. That was not going to be my life anymore. And I ended up doing it. I think it took me, how long? Maybe like, I was going to look this up, and then hold on, let's actually look this up. Let's like have this like data or like fact based. Okay. So I actually did this in 12 months. I think I started, and then I something happened and I was a little bit slow to start. There were a couple of little false starts, but I remember committing and probably giving it about like 6 to 8 months. Looking back, I think that I could have done this shorter, but the only reason that I can say that is because I have the knowledge that I have now to know better. Okay. How cool is that? So if you are someone that feels like that you are back to square one, you never are, because the knowledge and the skills that you have doesn't leave you. That is still going to be with you. But I've just gone and checked, because I remember I put in a post, like-minded bitches drinking wine, and I did on September 23rd, 2016. And I was talking about my win. And I wrote here, a huge day for me. I am debt-free. This is hard when you have a bricks and mortar business with big overheads combined with the startup of a new business. That was Professional Babe. Stay on top of your bills, pay your BAS, your tax, and keep your sanity intact. I can clearly remember the day sitting down to $22,139 worth of debt and feeling so overwhelmed. I feel a glass of champagne is deserved for breakfast, as I did this in less than 12 months. The thought of the debt hanging over my head was the biggest lady boner killer ever. Every business decision I made or event I had to turn down was due to the figure over my head. To sweeten it further, I've also lost over 12 kilos since then too. All I can say is just make goals and slowly chip away at them. A year can feel like so far away when it really isn't. You can totally do this. And anytime I feel like that I am just sabotaging myself, or I'm like, oh, this is really big, I actually go back and I read this. And I love to look at this and reflect back on it. I never look back being like, oh my gosh, you've regressed, because you haven't. Life has happened. Stuff happens in life. Circumstances happen. You know, this is just what happens when you're a human. You know, we're not AI. We're not a robot. Of course, shit's going to happen to us. But I look back and I was like, you now have, what is it, like 9 years worth of learnings and skills, where you did this in 12 months. If you wanted to do this again, you probably could do this in 6, or you could do this in 3, whatever, because you are a different person now. So what I want you to think about is, knowing this, I want you to make what you would normally do happen in a shorter space of time. It's like, if you did something before in 3 months, you are upskilled. You've already done that in 3 months. You've proven yourself that you can do it. How can we make that better? What can we do to make that, like, that amount bigger in a 3-month period? Like, what is that going to look like? And how can you have the belief there to make that happen? Now, what I want to make sure is that you're not going to get really excited about this and then do fucking nothing. And then we're going to be here in 3 months and you're going to be like, oh my God, get over it. Okay. This is your life and you have to live for you. And especially if you have children or people around you, you want to be an example of, one, what is possible, and an example as well to them that they are worth prioritizing and that they can live an exceptional life. So I want you to think right now about what you want. Like, if we are making this 1% of your entrepreneurial year of your business so significant, what would make it significant? Like, if let's zoom 10 years in the future and you are looking back on this moment and you are like, that is the 1% that changed it all. What would you be doing? What is it? And how are you going to do it? You know, what is the goal? How are you going to believe? What is that action? What is this going to look like? Now, if you want a helping hand, I have the perfect product for you. It is only $35 and it is called the $35 offer. It should be sold for so much more. It was called Who Are You Becoming, but everyone called it the $35 offer. So the name has changed, and lucky for you, the price has not. It is still the same price. And what this will help you do is audit your business, and it will help you put a plan in place to create a new future. It is exceptional value for the $35 that it is. It's in Notion, so if you're a Notion user, it's easy to duplicate, use those templates. If not, fear not. You are going to love it. Please try it. Let me know how you go. And let's make this fucking 1% the best and most impactful stage in our business. Let's really stretch. Like, I know for me, I am going to get a bit crazy about the results that I want. I want to go in and I want to believe really fucking hard about my potential and what I'm going to be and what this looks like. You know, what this looks like for me, we've got in Business Bang, which is my entrepreneurial and business accelerator, is we are doing a bit of a visibility challenge. The visibility challenge is not about posting more. It's about posting authentically and showing up as, you know, the business owner that you want to be and who you know that you're going to be, and how can we put that into your content. So I'm doubling down on my content. I'm taking the podcast seriously. We've leveled up like a lot of the content. I am also doing a little series that's coming up. There's like another little nugget of what is happening. I'm going to go harder on my selling. And the metric is one, being in action. But I feel like I'm not pissing off enough people. I know this sounds ridiculous. I feel like I'm not pissing off enough people. Like, I'm like, people are agreeing with me too much, or I'm not being told no. Like, if I am not getting enough road bumps, it's really interesting for me that I'm like, yes, I think I'm of course getting better, but I feel like that I'm still working in this like little circle of safety of people who know me, and I really need to just push it even further. So I am so excited. I am excited to meet who I'm going to be in 90 days time and make this next 1% significant. I hope that you'll be with me. It's going to be good. Hot stuff. I love this. I love you. I recorded this episode wearing my sunglasses and I love it. I actually love wearing my sunglasses. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like wrapping myself in like a nice big comfy blanket. I like that everything is just not as bright. It's a little bit muted. It's really nice. I'm also quiet. My vision is terrible. So these are prescription, and it also helps me see. So if you ever see me and I am doing something without my glasses on, know that everything is fuzzy and hazy. You all have the bold and the beautiful filter on. So I love you more than that. I love you more than the beautiful Melbourne skyline. Let me see if I can show you. Let's move over here. I don't even know. Am I in frame? Yes. So when I moved, I used to have my office in a different co-working space, and this is their sister location. And I remember walking in here and the lifts open and I overlooked the city, and I walked into the kitchen and this just looked so beautiful. And I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where my $1 million year in business is going to happen. I have to fucking get my ass here. And every day, the lift doors open and I look out into the city when I go into the kitchen, and I feel so emotional that I moved myself from Maitland to here. My business is in Toorak. I can't, like, I'm still in disbelief. I'm just in disbelief that this is my life because it's so fucking good. It is so good. And know that it has come from the belief and continually showing up. Yes, there have been some little challenges along the way, but that's okay, baby. That is life. And with those challenges, that we make content and we make money from that content. Hot stuff. I love this. I love you. Have the week that you deserve. Have a sexy week. Go make money. And let's make this 1% very fucking significant.